I am going to solve one of your previous year question based on Rankine cycle. So see this question. First, a steam turbine receives superheated steam at a pressure of 15 bar and having a degree of superheat 110 degree centigrade. Then the exhaust pressure is 0.07 bar and expansion of steam takes place isentropically. Then calculate heat supply, heat rejected, net work done, thermal efficiency. So this is your given question. So before proceeding to question, I want to tell you the how you are going to know that this question is based on Rankine cycle. Okay. So for that you should you should read the question carefully. See here, in this question it is not mentioned, anyway it is not mentioned it is on Rankine cycle based, but in your steam power cycle you have studied two cycle, that is one is for Carnot cycle and another one Rankine cycle, and you know in Carnot cycle up to saturated steam or your wet steam can perform means accurately, it gives good result, but superheated steam can't give result. Okay, it failed for that. So here it clearly mentioned a steam turbine receives superheated steam. That means what? It is no doubt a steam turbine receives superheated steam at a pressure of 15 bar. As it is mentioned here, superheated steam. So it is indirectly showing that this cycle is based on your Rankine cycle. And see here, I have also shown you a flow diagram. See, this is your boiler and then turbine, then condenser, and this is your pump. So here in this question it is saying a steam turbine receives superheated steam at a pressure of 15 bar. You just mark this 15 bar superheated steam, and see here one more most important, degree of superheat. Okay, here it is not only superheat, it is degree of superheat of 110 degree. Then exhaust pressure is 0.07 bar, then expansion takes place isentropically. So these are my datas. Okay. So see, this is your steam turbine. It is saying in steam turbine receives superheated steam. That means what? At point 1, the steam is in which condition? It is in superheated condition, and the pressure is how much? 15 bar. Okay, and how much it has, how much temperature? It is not clearly mentioned, it is not directly given that it is superheated to this much temperature. It is given, here it is given degree of superheat, and you guys know degree of superheat means T superheat. Degree means what? T superheat minus T saturation. Okay, this is your degree of superheat. So in this question, what are the datas then? This pressure, that means at point 1 pressure is how much? 15 bar. So I can write down here, datas are first your inlet condition at turbine, pressure is how much? 15 bar. So P1 will be, see, this is your point 1. So I am giving here P1. P1 is 15 bar, and having degree of superheat is how much? 110 degree. That means it is saying the difference between T superheat minus T saturation. Okay. So I have to find out here T superheat. T superheat minus T saturation is given 110 degree centigrade. Okay. Then the exhaust pressure is how much? 0.07 bar. So exhaust condition, exhaust pressure means what? This is your turbine, and you can see here the inlet point is 1 and outlet point is 2. So exhaust means this indicate, this point 2 indicate its exhaust point, and that at point 2, because of this expansion, at point 2 your pressure decreased from 15 bar to how much? 0.07 bar. So I can write down here P2 is how much? 0.07 bar. So these are my datas. P1 it has given P1, then T superheat minus T saturation is 110 degree, then exhaust pressure P2 is equals to 0.07 bar. And see, not only in this question but also you can see in other questions also you can see, usually for Rankine cycle problem तमें दीटा डाटा मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली गिवन था P1 प्रेशर दैट मीन्स यो हायर प्रेशर जोटा कि बॉयलर रो आइदर दे देई थिबो कि बॉयलर रो एतिकी प्रेशर एडजस्ट होची और टर्बाइन रे एतिकी प्रेशर इनलेट करची दैट इज दिस प्रेशर P1 प्रेशर इट इज यूजुअली गिवन योर P1 प्रेशर एंड अदर वन इज P2 that is the exhaust pressure from your turbine or you can say that is your condenser pressure. So usually these two pressures are given. So here also it is given P1 is how much 15 bar and P2 is how much 0.07 bar. So now your next other data usually given is inlet condition, steam ra inlet condition kona at your turbine. So here it is given, it is in which condition? It is in superheated condition and having temperature how much? The degree of superheat is 110 degree centigrade. That means it is not clearly showing the temperature, it is showing me the difference between T superheat. That means what? Difference between this point and saturation point. It gives me the difference between this. This is 110 degree. It is not telling me that at this point it is 110. It gives me that this point and this point, between this point the difference is 110. So what I have to do to find out the superheat temperature? T superheat will be 110 plus T saturation. And what is T saturation for 15 bar? For 15 bar you can find out from your steam table. For 15 bar pressure T saturation is 198.3 degree centigrade. So I will just add that one, 110 plus 198.3 degree centigrade and it will be 308.3. So at one point temperature is 308.3 degree centigrade. Okay. So this is the condition. 15 bar pressure and temperature is how much? 308.3 degree centigrade. Then next your exhaust pressure, that is P2, which is 0.07 bar. So these are the data usually given in your question. No doubt, not only in this question but also whenever you see this type of problem, you can see the pressure P1, P2 it is usually given and also the condition of steam at inlet of your turbine it is usually given. And here it is superheated, maybe in other question it may be in dry saturated or it may be in wet steam. So here it is superheated, so I am going to solve for superheated steam. So here I have already written down the values that I have obtained from your steam table. See, for 0.07 bar pressure I have already written these values and I have obtained these values from steam table. So you also first write down those values for pressure 15 bar and for 0.07 bar the values from your steam table and then only proceed further. So see here, for 0.07 bar pressure HF is 163.4, HFG is 2.09.1 and HG is 2.2572.5 kilojoule per kg, and similarly I have write down SF, SFG, VF. I have write down for these values for your 0.075 bar pressure. And then next is your for 15 bar pressure and temperature is how much? 308.3. So here T temperature is how much? You are going to find out for 308.3 degrees centigrade. So for 15 bar pressure and temperature is how much? 308.3 degrees centigrade. And usually in your steam table the temperature for this 308.3 it is not given. So you have to find out these values by interpolation method, and also I have given one formula for this. You guys can put this formula to find out for temperature this one. Okay. So whenever you study your stream table, you can find for 15 bar pressure you will find temperature 300 degree temperature find dei pare 310 find dei thibo, but for 308.3 degree it never mentioned exact for 308.3 degree eta mention nathibo. So you have to find out by using this interpolation formula. So I am putting these values for this. So see here, I have to find out what enthalpy and entropy for this condition for 15 bar pressure and temperature this much. So let me find out then. H1 will be how much? See here, T1 is 300 degree. I have written these values from stream table only, but I don't know for this temperature. So see here, I have given a formula for this Y1. Y1 means here Y indicate the properties. Means if I am going to find out for enthalpy, then here Y indicate H. If I am going to find out for entropy, then Y indicate S. So this Y indicate the properties. So see here for H 308.3 degrees centigrade, how it will be? Y1 means first 3 degrees centigrade for T1 temperature 3 degrees centigrade 300 degrees centigrade, your H1 is this much 3038.2 plus Y2 minus Y1. Y2 is how much? This is for your T2 temperature, this is your value, so this is Y2 and this is H2, this is H1. So Y2 will be 3060.4 minus 3038.2 divided by T2 minus T1. T2 is this one, T1 is this one. So 310 minus 300 into 1. T1 is your the temperature that you want to find out, means 308.3 minus T1. T1 is what? This 300. And you are just calculate these values and you are going to get 3056.4 kilojoule per kg. Okay. So this is your H for 308.3 degrees centigrade. So I have calculated for enthalpy. Similarly, you can calculate for entropy also. Entropy, how much it will be? First is this one, 6.9198 plus H2 minus H1, that means 6.9582 minus 6.9198 divided by T2 minus T1, that is 310 minus 300 into T minus T1. T is your 308.3 minus 300 degrees centigrade, and calculate this and you are going to get 6.9596. Okay, this is kilojoule per kg Kelvin. So guys, this is very important. Whenever your particular pressure, not only temperature, but sometimes तुम मैंने देखियो कि स्टीम टेबल रे तुम मैंने कर सपोज एठी 15 बार बदल रे एमिति किछि प्रेशर देला जोडे तुम स्टीम टेबल रे पाउनो, लाइक 1.34 एमिति किछि देला जोडे तुम स्टीम टेबल रे मेंशन है. देन हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू फाइंड आउट? तो सेते बेले देखियो 1.34 धर तो मते फाइंड आउट करियार अछि. तो मते कोन प्रेशर आगे गिवन अछि in your steam table? 1.34. suppose I want to find out for 1.34 bar pressure, which is not mentioned in your steam table, but you want to find out for this pressure. So एटा देखो कि ए प्रेशर रो आउ को प्रेशर रो वैल्यू गुडा का देछि. यूजुअली यू कैन फाइंड 1.3 पई देथिबो त मानकर स्टीम टेबल रे वैल्यू गुडा का. सिमिलरली 1.4 पई भी देथिबो तो 1.3 रे जो वैल्यू गुडा का पाइछो, 1.4 रे जो वैल्यू गुडा का पाइछो, आकु नै जाओ 1, आकु नै जाओ 2 पॉइंट सपोज. आउ ए फार्मूला अप्लाई करो एंड you can find out for this value. So here my temperature is known, that's why I have given in terms of temperature. If your pressure is known, then you can apply here in place of temperature you can apply P2, P1, and this will be just pressure. Okay. So this is very important. In case it is not fraction in your steam table, then you can easily find out by using your interpolation method. So this is your interpolation, and by using interpolation method I have find out the H1 value and S1 value. Let me write down it clearly. First you calculate these things. In this small space I can't write everything in detail. That's why I have to work out. H1 is how much? I have calculated and I found 3056.626 kilojoule per kg. And similarly H1, that means I have find out the values. So I have find out the values for 1 point. H1, S1. S1 is how much? 6.9516. Then next one, H2. This is your TS diagram. So students, whenever you are proceeding for cyclic type means problem, you should draw a diagram for this, so that it will be easy to calculate all these values. So here I have already find out the values for 1 point. Then next I have to find out for 2 point. Then here I have to find out for H2. For H2, I know my formula is HF2 plus XHFG2. At point 2, the condition of steam is what? Wet steam. Okay. So this will be my formula. But see here, for H2 means this point. At this point, your pressure is how much? 0.07 bar, and at this is pressure 15 bar. Okay. So here 0.07 for 0.07 bar, write down the values. I have already told you, write down the values for enthalpy and entropy. So HF is this much, HFG is this much. But guys, you don't know what is the value of dryness fraction. Then for that I have to calculate. So first let me equal S1 is equals to S2. Why S1 is equals to S2? Because see here it is mentioned the expansion of steam takes place isentropically. Isentropically means what? Entropy remain constant. Means entropy same for this process 1 to 2. That means S1 is equals to S2, and I have already find out S1. S1 is this much, and that will be equivalent to your S2. And here see, this is your wet steam. So S2 for S2 your formula will be SF2 plus X SFG2, and S1 is how much? 6.9516. SF2 is how much? See here, for 0.07 bar I have already write down the values from steam table. See, this is your SF, SFG for 0.07 bar. So put these values. SF2 in place of SF2 0.559 plus X is how much? X I have to find out into SFG is how much? 7.717. So here calculate this, and you are going to get the value for X, and this is 0.828. Okay, just calculate it, and you are going to find out the value for your dryness fraction, and it will be 0.828. Then I can put these dryness fraction values in your enthalpy. So I can find out HF2 is how much? 163.4 plus X is how much? 0.828 into HFG2 is how much? Here 2409.1. Okay. Just calculate this and you are going to get 2158.135. 2158.135. This kilojoule per kg. Okay, so this is your H1, this is your H2. Then calculate the value for this point, point 3, H3. See here, I have already told you this is your saturated liquid line and this is your saturated vapor line. Okay, so this is your saturated liquid line. So at point 3, F term indicate the values for point 3. So H3 will be how much? HF3. Okay, and 3 point is at how much pressure? At 0.07 bar pressure. So at 0.07 bar pressure, HF will be my H3. So see here, HF is how much? 163.4. So this will be 163.4 kilojoule per kg. So this is my H3. So remember these things, that this 3 point is at your saturated liquid line term line. That's why the term F, that means this indicates the values for this line. And similarly H3 you have find out. Then I am going to find out for H4. H4 So for H4, see here, this is your pump work. 3 to 4, here 3 to 4 is your pump. So see, H4 minus H3 is your pump work. And pump work is how much? You guys know, for pump work, Vf into P2 minus P1 is, this one is your P1 pressure, this one is your P2 pressure. So what will be my H4 then? H3 plus Vf into P1 minus P2. Okay. So H3 is how much? I have already written here. H3 is 163.4. 163.4 plus Vf. See here, at this point Vf will be how much? At this point Vf will be for 0.07 bar. Vf will be my 0.00107. 0.00107 into P1 minus P2. P1 is 15 bar minus P2 is how much? 0.07 bar. And remember this guys, this is in bar and the pump work is in, you have to find out pump work is in kilojoule. So I have to convert this bar to what? Kilopascal. So you have to multiply here 100. As you know, 1 bar is 100 kilopascal and you are going to get H4 is 164.903 kilojoule per kg. So after you are finding H1, H2, H3, H4, then there is no more problem for this. So I have already find out H4, H3, H2 and H1 is I have worked out. So whenever in your question it is based on Rankine cycle, first find the values for H1, H2, H3, H4. Then it will be easy for you. So first it is in question. First let me write down all the values, otherwise it will be a problem. H1 is how much? 3056. And H2 is how much? 2158.135. Then H3 is how much? 163.4. Similarly, H4 is how much? 164.903 kilojoule per kg. So these are all values I have found out. are point 1, 2, 3 and 4. Then let me calculate these options. So first option, in first option it is mentioned heat supply. So see here, in boiler you are giving heat. So heat supply will be how much? This is your point 1 and this is your point 4. So heat supply will be H1 minus H4. So in first point, heat supply is H1 minus H4. Okay. Then just subtract it. 3056.26 minus H4 is 164.903 and you are going to get 2891.723. Okay, this is your heat supply. Then heat rejected. Heat rejected, see, this is your condenser and in this condenser your heat is rejected and this is in between point 2 to 3. So see here, 2 to 3, here heat is rejected. So how much heat will be rejected? H3 minus H2. So heat rejected is how much? H3 minus H2. So, high enthalpy minus low enthalpy, that is H2 minus H3. So H2 is how much? 2158.135 minus H3 is how much? 163.4 and you are going to get 1994. Okay, then next part, net work done. W net. You guys know W net is turbine work minus pump work and it is also equivalent to your as this is a cyclic operation. So as per first law of thermodynamics, your net work done is net heat supply. So I can write down WT minus WP will be equivalent to your QS minus QIN, Q rejection. Okay. So I have already found out the value for heat supply and heat rejected. Just subtract these values. That is 2891.723 minus 1994.735. So you are going to get 896.98 kilojoule per kg. Now this is your net work done. Then thermal efficiency. So for thermal efficiency, you guys know formula for thermal efficiency is net work done divided by heat supply or heat input. So W net I have already found out here. W net is how much? 896.98 divided by Q input, and Q input is how much? Q input means heat supply, that is 2891.723 and you are going to get 31.01. 0.3101 and that is 31.01%. So this is all about this problem. Try to find out this how I have told you, and you can solve various Rankine problem if you have understand these things. Okay.